All right. I'm an addict named Frank. I want to thank everybody that read and everybody that's in attendance today for the noon meeting. We have an afternoon speaker. Her name is Paula. I just met her like 5 minutes ago, so I don't know much about her, but I'm sure she's probably got a great story because the committee invited her to come share her experience, strength, and hope. And with no further ado, I'll give you Paula.
I'm an addict called Paula, and I'm always humbled that anybody would ask me to share. But I do know that I never thought I could stay clean a day, and I have managed to make it a few days. And I've lived through all kind of stuff. I have never have any idea what's going to come out of my mouth. I truly want to be just a vessel that my higher power tells you what you need to hear about me, as this is my story. And I love that the whole premise of this convention is service. I'm here because when I got here, they told me, they cut me the best deal I had had in years. They said, you can only keep what you have by giving it away. So when they ask me to speak, I always go like the lady who said the podium bites. Why? But I have to. It's my give back to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. And you don't want to get me started on people that walk around and come just for their birthdays, because I don't know I don't know the deal with that. How are you giving back if you ain't here? But a quick bit about me. I was the youngest of three. My sister was Jane, my brother was Joe, and my name was Paula. So from the get-go, I was like, what the heck? Did they run out of J names? So I was feeling apart from in my own house. And my mother used to say I was the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae. And I just wanted to be part of the sundae. You know, I wanted to be a part of, but I always felt different. And y'all, I'm going to jump around, but through the grace of my higher power in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, I had a 3-year-old, I had a baby, and then she turned 3. And I got clean, and she said, Mama, I feel like an alien. I said, girl, I used to too. What a gift. Now, if I told my mama I felt like an alien, she'd go, you're not an alien, stop that, you know. And she loved me, but y'all taught me a different way to love. Like my actions matched my words. And see, a lot of what I experienced in my life was you tell me you loved and cared for me, and what you showed me was not what I thought the definition of love was. But what happened was, when I was 13, I was offered my first drug. It was liquid. And I tried it, and I felt better. I felt like I fit in with that carload of people. And it just started there. I wasn't afraid to try anything. I thought, wow, if this was good, maybe this would be better. So for the next, till I was 36, if you laid it out in front of me, and you said, two match heads of this will make you feel great, I'd say, give me 3. Yeah. Because under all that stuff I told you about me, I never felt worthy to breathe y'all's air. For my mom and dad, my dad was 17 years older than my mom, but they were both educators. They had a boy, they had a girl, and then they had me, and I'm the same, but it was really obvious. They had the perfect family, and then came one more. And so I always felt like I was the reason we couldn't do stuff. And so I just was apologizing my whole life. You know, if you bumped into me, I said, I'm sorry. My big ass was in your way. You know, I felt like, you know, it was always, no matter what, when my ex-husband beat me, I was like, if I just didn't piss him off, maybe my life would be better. You know, I went through my whole life thinking I was the reason you hated me, or you treated me the way you treated me. And so Yeah, I did every drug because number one, I wanted to fit in. Number two, I kind of wanted to fade away while I was fitting in so I wasn't bothering you. So if it would just make me ooze into the cracks of the seat, I would do it, you know. I lived to use and used to live. And I never, ever thought I was a drug addict. Yeah. That never entered my mind. I mean, good God, I was just having fun. I was just trying to fit in, and they wrote songs like "Girls Just Wanna Have Fun." Okay, right? That's why I'm here. I just want to have fun, and I just don't want to be in your way. So I lived to use and used to live. I somehow actually managed to go to college. It took me a little longer, but I made it with 2 degrees. I just kept not wanting to work full time and kept writing grants. And see, that's the one thing I love about Narcotics Anonymous. None of us are stupid. We can play the stupid game because we get what we can get. But I ain't met a dumb drug addict yet. So I'm an awful sponsor when you come to me and start telling me you don't know. I'm like, bullshit. You know. You ain't gonna con this con. I did it to doctors, lawyers, mamas, daddies, you know. I just knew what to do to get what I wanted. And you do too. So what I need to tell you is I used for 23 years of my life. And while I was out there, I was totally insane, and I had no idea when I came here and y'all said, in the second step, we came to believe a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Who you calling crazy? Yeah. What the hell? I was crazier than a loon, y'all. I asked a man who was just my current thing one night. I said, "Ooh, I want to have your babies. You got beautiful teeth." That ain't the crazy part, y'all. I had his babies. I married him. We got in a fight. I had never hit him because I was pregnant most of the time, but when I hit him, those beautiful teeth flew. Now, I said you can't con a con, but I let that one slip by me, y'all. But I have to be grateful for everything because it took every bad thing I did out there using to finally lead me to y'all. And I love y'all. And I need y'all. And y'all, I came and I was just big broken piece of pottery. And I laid all my pieces in a chair, and what y'all have done through the steps, sponsorship and love and service, has helped me to start putting that back together. Yeah. You would know I wanted to tell y'all I was a pot. You know. But at any rate, I did all kind of crazy stuff when I was using it. I thought sex was love. I really didn't know because, you know, my parents, I don't blame them. I ain't no parent blamer. I think they were broke too. And I think hurt people hurt people. I think they did the best with what they could. And so, you know, my dad never got to know me in recovery, but I wrote him a letter and I went and told him, because he was one of us. I do believe this runs in the family. I wrote him a letter and told him I was sorry he never got the chance for somebody to help him put his pieces back together. But somehow, and I'll tell you how, I worked for the city of Columbia. I wouldn't tell anybody because I worked there. But they retired me without notice because they called it downsizing. They took 20 of us that had over 25 years and said, we're going to hire young people and you're gone. But luckily I had enough years to get a full retirement. So, you know, HP, working all the time. But, damn, I do this, y'all. I'm 66 and I have what they call moments. But what I wanted to tell you about working for the city of Columbia is I ran an 18-acre park called Riverfront Park, and I was in the very bottom of my addiction. I was living to use every night, all night long, saying every night, all night long, I'm done, I'm throwing it away, I would look at what mile marker I threw it out after you went home. Go back, get that shit. I put it on my dresser, say I ain't gonna use it tonight because I'll need it in the morning. Y'all, I used it at night. So by lunchtime every day I was copping again. But I worked this 18-acre park, and we had park benches, we had a canal. So I needed to rest. I just go out and sit on a park bench and pass out. Well, I got caught sleeping on the job, and I said I wasn't sleeping. Boss man came and said, oh, yes, you were. No doubt, I doubt it. I mean, you were sleeping. And so he said, and the handbook says immediately we're going to fire you. It's the first reason to fire somebody, sleeping on the job. And I said, oh, no, I'm a drug addict. I got a problem. You got to help me. I had never thought I was a drug addict, but when it serves the purpose. So, unfortunately, to his greatest dismay, there was a little clause in our somewhat weird little contract, and so I went to Human Resources. Well, this was 1989, y'all. They didn't have a lot of treatment centers, so they put me in the nut floor of a hospital. They said I had a problem. And see, I didn't think I had a problem. I just got caught, you know, and they took my shoestrings. They were looking in my darn toothpaste, and I was like, what is up? They took my little razor, and I said, how am I going to shave my legs? And they said, well, you aren't here for the beauty pageant. So, y'all, here's what happened there. They gave me this little paper and told me what I was going to do every day, and it was wonderful. We got up, we had breakfast. Now, this is an addict who wasn't eating breakfast, dinner or lunch. I was doing the microwave drug, the one that gets you done fastest, you know. And so I had breakfast. Then we had group, and we all sat around and bitched. It was really cool. Then we had morning meditation. Then we stretched. Then we had lunch. And then my paper said NA. I never heard of NA. So I went to my room. I got in my bed in the hospital. The nurse comes and she says, didn't you look at your schedule? I said, yes, ma'am. It said NA, and I figured nothing at this time. She proceeded to say, no, it's the Narcotics Anonymous meeting, and my little eyeballs lit up. This is where I go and get the drug to get off the drugs. I nearly ran down the hall. I couldn't wait. So I walk into this room, and I love to tell this part of the story. 3 people walked in. Nobody looked like me. It was a girl. She had her hair up. She was wearing a leopard skin, one shoulder out. I said if she'd have put a bone through that hair, she'd have been Pebbles Flintstone. Then this guy, no shit, that kind of hair that looks like if you touched it, you're gonna cut your hand. I'm like, what the hell? Then a good old hippie, you know, beard, hair, ZZ top, but no gray yet. You know what I mean? I thought, well, maybe he's got something to say. So I sat in this room, and they proceeded to read the readings. And I don't remember much, but it said something like an addict alone was in bad company. And y'all, I told you I had a little 3-year-old, and it also said an addict would use drugs ahead of the welfare of their husbands, their wives, and their children. And I thought, that's legit. And they kept talking, and they were smiling. And it caught me. I always said, you hang a carrot in front of a mule, you know. I wanted that carrot. So the meeting ended, and I went up to them, and I said, I want to join. I need some help. And they proceeded to tell me it was a hospital institution meeting and that I couldn't join. I had to go to an outside meeting. But that when I got out, that was something I needed to do. That, y'all, was service. That service showed me the doors of Narcotics Anonymous. See, I'd heard of AA, but you know what I'd heard? A friend of mine's daddy drank all the time, 7 kids, drank for 30 years. If he came home on Christmas, he brought everybody a toothbrush. Just a worthless drunk. And he got clean in AA. And all I ever heard about AA was his wife talking about how her husband was never home. He drank for 30 years, and now I never see his face. So I didn't have a great impression of a 12-step program, but, man, them NA people, Pebbles and the gang, man, they laid a carrot in front of this mule. So I went to my doctor that day, and I told him, man, I said, I like that Narcotics Anonymous. I said, I really want to go to one of them meetings. So he wrote me a pass. He said, get the schedule, I'll let you out of the hospital, and you go to a meeting. Well, y'all, all the way to the treatment on the way, and I went the day after my child's 3rd birthday, I looked for something to get high on. Nobody had any. There was a drought. You know that shit that you hear when people don't want to share with you no more. And believe me, I was where they didn't want to share with me no more. Well, I'd go rummaging through my car as I get in to go to the meeting, found what I was looking for. And I thought, wow, I got a pass. Yeah. You know, I thought, look what God has done for me. But I made the decision, maybe it'd be smarter to wait till after I went to that meeting. We didn't have to get papers signed back then. You just went. So I tell you my story about Narcotics Anonymous. I drive up. There's grown people swinging on the swings at this church. A couple of them hanging upside down on monkey bars. A little crowd by the front door smoking so much it looked like perhaps they were doing smoke signals. And I walked up to the first 2 ladies I saw, and I did what I'd always done. And I said, hey, y'all want to go get high? And they both looked at me. See, I don't know nothing. I ain't never been. And they said, well, maybe after the meeting. And I said, well, where the heck's the meeting? And they said, upstairs. And so at 8 o'clock, I actually went up about 5 till, and there was one guy, and he was about 70 with a hearing aid sitting on a couch. He said, have a seat, little lady. And I came and I sat by him, and I thought, well, he must be the president. Anyway, at 8 o'clock, I counted, 53 people came in, and of course, I decided there was something wrong with 52 of those people. You weren't fat, you weren't my color, you weren't my man of my dreams, a woman I could be a friend to. I had a reason not to like every one of you. Number 50-something came in, and he was wearing a cowboy hat for some reason, and I wasn't into country music, but I was from the country, so I thought maybe, maybe I'll stay. Okay. So the meeting started, and here's something I always love to tell you. I didn't understand the language of Narcotics Anonymous. Somebody said something about working the steps. I thought, well, I walked up them, so. Now, this is my first meeting, y'all. I think I done worked the steps. Then they started talking about turning some stuff over. I guess I could. At any rate, I didn't know what they were talking about. And then half the room got up and walked to another room and said it was a newcomers meeting, and I sat right there. Back in the day, you used to take the newcomer away from the crowd so you could better talk to them. And they came back and said, oh, the meeting's for you. Come on. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. So I go, and at that point, everyone went around the room and told their experience, strength, and hope about Narcotics Anonymous. I was getting real hopeful. And they pointed at me, and I don't think we even did this, and they said, you got something to share. Had my trusty Winston cigarette pack with a picture of my little 3-year-old in it, and I said, y'all, I ain't worth saving. Because remember, I'm still breathing y'all's air. I'm still sorry I did all this. And I showed them my little girl. I said, I am not worth saving, but she deserves better. Well, y'all, promptly, a 16-year-old kid got up, put her hand on her hip, and said, that ain't how Narcotics Anonymous works. She said, you got to get clean for you or it won't work. If you get clean for her, you'll use again. And at that point, I believed. So they said we had to go back to the main room. So we go back to the main room. Me still lost as the cow at the wrong side of the pasture. And they start giving out the chips, and everybody's looking at me. And they're giving out the chips, and they're looking at me. I just sit there, and then the meeting's over, and everybody looks a little disappointed, and they start to leave. Well, I go over to the president. I had sat there. And he's sitting at a table with a basket full of pretty keychains. And I said, man, I want to buy one of your keychains. He said, I'll give you this one. It was a white chip. I said, no, I want one of the pretty ones. He said, you keep coming, and I'll give you one of every color in this basket. So I couldn't get a pretty one that night. But I took one, and I left. And y'all, I felt so good, you know. Like, I thought you had to die. I thought that was the only way a drug addict ever quit using. And somebody had told me right there in that meeting there was a way not to die. So I didn't get high. I did strategically hide that last bit of dope in a trash can in the garage at the hospital like Colonel Mustard in the... At any rate, I go back in and they said, you know, we're going to piss test you. And I said, drink up, baby. I did nothing wrong. And my doctor came to me. And y'all, this is like I think my HP really manifesting itself. This is 1989. I'm telling you, there ain't hardly no drug centers. I'm in a hospital, and he said, what happened tonight? I said, man, I love that Narcotics Anonymous. I said, I think I could fit in there. He said, well, you got crappy insurance. He said, they're only going to pay for you to stay here 5 days. And he said, I want to tell you, I truly believe if you would get out of here and go to those meetings, they could do more for you than this hospital. 1989. So he wrote me a discharge for the next day. I'm standing on a Wednesday morning. The mom's got the baby. Nobody knows where I am because we're on the down low. Paula's in the mental hospital. Now, my disease says, hey, let's go get high. Got the whole weekend. Nobody will know. And then that little thought came to my head. Them guys told me I needed to go to a meeting. So I think I will. And y'all, that's how I found Narcotics Anonymous. And I walked in my first meeting, there was a guy sitting on the floor on a pillow, and he was rolling. And I thought, oh, this is part they didn't tell me about last night. Turns out he was rolling cigarettes, y'all. He's still there rolling cigarettes. But that was 30 years ago.
Yes!
I'm going to tell you now how I keep, and I've never had to go back out. I've done everything but go back out, y'all. I use food like it was a drug that could cure the world. But because of the grace of my higher power and some help from my friends, I've lost 75 pounds.
Come on, girl.
Just in the last year. Actually, let me brag, 77.
Yes, right.
Anyway, but see, what happened, y'all, is I got it. I figured it out. When one day I thought to myself, sitting in a meeting, I said, wait a minute. Y'all are talking about forever. Y'all are talking about never, ever using a drug again. Whoa! About blew my cork. It's amazing, but I started squirming in my chair. President of NA happened to be in the meeting. He said, what's wrong with you? I said, man, I can't do this forever. He said, well, hush, it's meeting going on. He said, but how about you meet me at the 5 o'clock? This was the 12 o'clock meeting. See, they had names, but noon, 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock. He said, meet me at 5. So I go back to work and come as soon as work's off with my girl. I pick her up and make her play in the Narcotics Anonymous meeting. And after the meeting, I said, well, what did we do now? He said, how about meet me at the 9? Go get something to eat, meet me at the 9. And I drugged my youngin' and we got food and we went to the 9. After the 9, I said, what do we do? He said, it's almost bedtime. Go home and put that young'un to bed. He said, you've made it a day. I'll meet you tomorrow at the noon. And what he showed me for the next few days of my life, that if I can't do it one day at a time, we can do it 1 hour at a time. And y'all truly, truly, I live my life like that. Part of it's because I don't remember shit about it. But I do everything one day at a time. I got to talk about service. When I got here, my sponsor was big H&I, hospital and institution. I couldn't share. I didn't have enough time, but she put me in her pocket, and she said, let's go to Institute every Thursday night. So we went to women's prison. So I went for 9 whole months. One day, the meanest inmate in there said, why don't she ever say something? Is she here just to watch us? And my sponsor said, she ain't had enough time. She's now got enough time to tell you why she's here. And they let me share. For the next 14 years of my life, I carried the H&I commitment. I would carry it today, except they caught me one night going into the prison, and they said, are you Paula W. Davis? And I said, well, yes, I am. Well, did you ever smuggle drugs into a prison? I said, well, yes, I did. I said, I got caught, and I served my time. I did what y'all wanted. Well, you are not allowed on any prison grounds in the state of South Carolina. That's one we don't forgive. So it broke my heart because he wouldn't even let me go tell them ladies bye. But my co-chair took care of it because I did not want to let anybody down. Not because I was codependent, but because these women facing life sentences had one pocket of relief a week, and that was an H&I commitment to Narcotics Anonymous. And I truly think that what I don't see going on in the rooms today is I don't see sponsors putting somebody in their pocket and taking them. We have an area where I'm from where we just having a hard time getting people to go to area. And when I got here, my sponsor didn't ask me, oh, please, Paula, come do some service. She said, Paula, get in my car. We're going to do H&I. When I got thrown out of H&I, I moped around, sent my stuff in. How I had like 14 years, no problem. They wouldn't take me back. She said, you know, there's other ways to help in Narcotics Anonymous. So I went into public information. I helped get the message out. I actually got to go to prisons on a panel and present what we would do in their programs. So there's always a way to serve. You know, and when I got my first medallion, it said on there, Service Society God. It made me understand I'm not here to just serve all y'all, but you are who saved my life. And I will always serve you all. I will sponsor. I will give rides. And I bitch, y'all, call me up and I go, oh, Mo, that bitch wants her ride. I do it. Let's just get honest. I hate that shit. Same thing about H&I. I used to bitch all the way there and then float all the way. Because God let me help somebody that day. And it's the same way with that ride. If I got a car, and y'all, for some reason, two things Paula don't handle well, 30 years clean, I don't handle money or relationships really well. But I keep trying. I actually got completely out of debt when I got here. At 13 years clean, I paid off every card I owned. Went out and bought a house and a car.
Come on, girl.
Single mom.
Yep.
Let me oh no. I've been house broke ever since. But my higher power showed me another service I could do, is I could open my house up to people having a hard time. And no, not a first take newcomer, because I've seen people's houses robbed. I had one newcomer I let park in my driveway to sleep at night. She could come in and use the restroom, but I wasn't yet ready. I said, girl, you got to get 60 days before you're going to spend the night in my house. But we named it the Paula Day Inn. And I have had people who, like a guy, he got meningitis and his roommate didn't want him to live there. He lost his job, he lost his car. I let him live in my house for 11 months. Then he told me he'd found a job and a place to live. And he paid me back every penny he ever owed me. He's taken me to New York twice, and I didn't pay a penny. Flew me on the airplane, and I love New York. Anyway, I've done that with about 4 different addicts. I had one last year. She fell down steps, lost her job because of a brain injury, didn't work for 11 months, got settlement on her lawsuit, found a new place to live and paid me off and moved away. She's still clean. Woo! Because, you know, if you ain't got a job and you ain't working, honey, we going to a meeting. Same with my buddy. Y'all, I'm a single mom. Ain't nobody ever washed the clothes, made the coffee, or cooked but me. First day that the guy lived with me, tapped on my door and he said, I made some coffee, would you like a cup? And I said, I've died and gone to heaven. See, I had asked my higher power right before there, I said, I want somebody, Lord, to sit and watch sports with me, to do comedy and laugh with me, to cook food with me. Well, God gave me that, but I forgot to say let him be heterosexual. I have the best gay husband in America. And girl, don't knock it till you try it. I hear about these loveless marriages. This guy loves the shit out of me. We just don't do it. But let me tell you, be careful what you ask for, because I got exactly what I asked for. But you know, I am forever grateful. Because now I don't believe, because of working the 12 steps with my sponsor, and I have 10 sponsees, and y'all, it breaks my damn heart to tell a girl I don't feel like I can give you enough time. Yeah. Because people aren't doing service to Narcotics Anonymous. I tell all my girls, you can sponsor. Yeah. We're working steps. Your sponsor has an NA sponsor who has an NA sponsor. We work the 12 steps. That's part of your service to Narcotics Anonymous. You got to help people. You got to give them rides. Yes. You got to go to an institute and bitch all the way, like bitching all the way. I mean, but go. Like when Charles, now I'm going to tell you, asking me to come down here and then telling me they were going to let me spend the night. I got my daughter in my room. She's chosen not to use. She did use, but through a religious way. She went to Narcotics Anonymous since she's 3. She's a little tired of our asses. But she does not drink because she made a decision that that's not what she wants in her life. But we got a free room. We like country, come to town, baby. We sit on the couch, we watch the TV. I went swimming and froze my ass off yesterday. But hey, I got a free room with a pool. I don't care if it's cold. But y'all, I make a lot of jokes. But it's because I'm so loved. Paula ain't standing up here. I am backed by hundreds of addicts who love me. Yes. That's my job too. And I was talking about society. Y'all, one of my favorite things to do, I love grocery stores. You can tell by how big the dress was. But there's old people, there's people who can't read that go to grocery stores, and you can tell because they'll be like looking like crazy at shit. And then there's the little, you know, they're vertically challenged people that can't reach. There's people riding in them little go-karts. I can say, can I reach something for you? Can I get you something? Well, I just can't see the mushroom soup. And I do a couple of those, and I feel good. Yes. I feel good. Service to others paves my life with happiness. You know, I ain't got a lot of money, but a couple of times in my life, I've come out to my car and found money stuck in my car door because somebody knew from a meeting I needed something. I tell the story of I had 57 cents one time and threw it in a basket. My child was about 5. We didn't have any more money till I got paid on Friday. As soon as that meeting was over, somebody said, hey, I made a big pot of spaghetti. Y'all want to come eat? So we go eat. They give us a bowl to take home. I go home next day, this girl calls, they both in the program, her husband's an attorney. And she said, honey, somebody gave my husband a ham. We don't eat ham. Would you like a ham? I said, oh, sure. I go over, she said, I had the butcher cut it up. It was a leg of a pig. We ain't talking ham, we talking, Paula gave her mama's neighbor, they were retired old folks at home. I gave people in Narcotics Anonymous packages of ham. We ate ham, we had ham soup. But every time I gave somebody something, somebody gave me something back. And y'all, we didn't spend a penny for the next 2 weeks because I had the feet to throw 57 cents in that basket. Y'all, that's service to Narcotics Anonymous. You gotta believe sometimes that if you jump off a cliff, two things are gonna happen. Either one, you're gonna fall or have the wings to fly. I believe that my higher power wants the best for me. I believe if I give them this program that saved the life-saving program of Narcotics Anonymous. Because see, all that time y'all was talking about 12 steps, I wanted to kill myself. I married a man who would beat me so he could beat me to death and God would let me in. I did drugs too much, so if I died, I'd go, oh, you know, I'm at the gate. Hey, man, I didn't mean to die. I just wanted to get out. You know, I did everything in my life to have the demise come to me. But what my higher power saw fit to do was bring y'all to me. Woo! I used to not want to, never thought about not getting high, but when I was looking, I thought, I don't leave all my cool friends that held my hand when I tried to kill myself with the drugs and I was puking on the floor because I did too much. Well, y'all are here. You know, now it ain't, you know, a drug overdose, but I can call you and tell you, you know, I got Montezuma's revenge. Please come help me. And I'll have an addict come in and help, you know. Y'all are everything I ever wanted. And there's just no way I can't give it back to y'all. There's so much I want to say, but I trust that HP has said to you all what you need to hear. Please, hug people. There are people scared shitless of hugging you. Come on, Paula. So be the one. I just scare the shit out of people. Let me tell you this, and I'll hush. I keep saying that, but there used to be this man named Elmer, and he was a beautiful man, and he hated white women. Who knew? I just knew he was a newcomer, and his ass always tried to hit the door as soon as the meeting was over. I about tackled his ass. He goes, no, no, baby. I said, you got to know I'm glad you're here. And I love you, and I want you to come back. And he died a few years ago, and he wasn't letting many people see him, but he asked for me to come, and he said, you know I hated white people. I said, hell no, I didn't know that. He said, you were the bridge to me not hating white people. He said, because you never tried to do nothing but love me. And see, that gift has been given to me. A lady told me hugging me when I first got here was like hugging a telephone pole. It was like, okay, what the fuck do you want? But because of this program, I learned to hug. You know, my mama, they were raised without hugging. And because of y'all, when I come home, my mama would lean in like, are you going to hug me? Because I loved her. Because of losing a job that I thought was the end of the world, when she got cancer, I was there. I didn't have to be like my brother and sister calling work. Can I get off? Can I be with my mama? Excuse me. So I was there with her when she died. And y'all, 2 minutes after she died, an addict called me. He said, is this a bad time? I said, oh, no. He called it the best time. This is the greatest program. But y'all, if you ain't getting what I'm talking about, jump in it. Both feet, hold your nose. We gonna catch your ass. We am not gonna let you fall. We're gonna love you till you love yourself, and then Dad push us away. We're gonna keep loving your ass. Cause y'all, that's part of this program, and I'm gonna end with this. I always used to say, smoke them if you got them. I have emphysema. I quit smoking 28 years ago. Found out I had emphysema 2 years after I quit. So I ain't going to tell you to smoke them if you got them. I'm going to tell you to learn to love yourself enough to be here for the next addict, to chair that meeting, to unlock that door, because somebody needs us. Somebody needs us. And I'm so glad they were putting out smoke signals before that first meeting and all. It's like, come on in, Paula, come on in. See, y'all, I smoke. I'm down with that. Yeah. And I ain't going to criticize you. I just say, love yourself, lose the weight, get some help. See, that's the other thing. Let somebody help you.
Come on.
I came here and it says on the first page of our book, a lot of what we learn from misinformed sources. My daddy told me nobody was going to help me. My daddy was wrong. If I'd have lived the way I was living when I got here, my tombstone would have read, she did it all by herself. Today, when I die, I hope it says she got by with a little help from her friend. Because y'all have helped me by learning, we used to call it swallowing glass, asking for help. I have learned to help. I quit turning people away because I quit robbing them of the blessing of helping me. Y'all, that little 3-year-old that I told you about used to find a box of presents on my doorsteps every Christmas because I didn't have money to give her Christmas. But Narcotics Anonymous did. She found a damn trampoline in her backyard one time. And me and her got on that thing and laughed till we cried all the time. Tell me if that ain't something my ass